honor of introducing him and saying a little bit about 4th Street Fine Art, which now has an online store that you can get to through our website. And we're open through the holidays from 11 to 4 on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, where COVID has kind of upended everything. And Prabin, who having to leave this studio, and this is an area where he works usually, and a lot of his stuff is done here, and it's kind of a spacious area. So he's then relegated to a really tiny little garage space, and his wife tells me that nothing stops him. He just goes right on. So he has this little tiny space in the garage. He started working and produced the body of work you're about to see today. It is emotional, it's sensitive, it's sensual, and one of the things that I notice about it that I find very interesting is that all the figures in it are pushing the boundaries of the canvas. And he paints with a very powerful, confident brushstroke, and his brushstroke guides him through, guides the eye actually, subconsciously through these paintings. They're wonderful. He has represented the United States in art exhibitions, festivals in Tunisia, France, Italy, Turkey, and in India, because he's from India. So we decided to do this Zoom thing at a different time than what the regular reception will be, because there are people who are on different time schedules. So I'm really delighted to be able to introduce Prabin.
Yay!
Hey, Prabin.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome to Sheltering in Canvas. This is my show called Sheltering in Canvas. My name is Prabin Badhia. So, during the pandemic, I had nothing else to do because everything was closed outside and sitting in a garage, doing nothing. Sometimes it's avoid the boredom. Sometimes there is so many tremendous energy to do something. So everything was very limited in its limited surroundings and limited supply. Everything was very, very limited. Like squeezed inside a small space, generate a tremendous amount of energy inside me to explode within the canvas. Sometimes it's pleasant, sometimes it's not pleasant, but it's all about the energy. So this is where this is 4th Street Fine Art, and I'm exhibiting here. It's my special show. And you need to if you need to know more about these paintings and me, you can log on to my website. It's my full name, prabinbadhia.com. And there are some poetries also written on these images. So you can go to my YouTube channel. It's called Beiman Painter, and get some of the idea about this painting. It's more like subject plus style. And normally what I do, I paint figurative artwork, mostly human figure, sometimes nude, mostly without clothes. I should say, like, why I do the figurative painting? You might ask why. So reason is that humans are universal form in all geographic settings, but with different emotions and expressions. I find a variety of emotions and expressions in human forms. Human behave differently based on their surroundings and the nature of their society and or the tribes they belong to. They behave differently. But the figure also has its own expressions, very unique to their own blood and flesh, which is detached from the time and the place. I am more interested to work on those aspects of human nature. It's just pure human form. Imagine there is no society, no relationship. So this is kind of pure human form, and what the human can do. That's all about my subject. And my technique is very simple. I paint when my mind is totally free. And I have no preconceived ideas to paint. I just paint randomly just onto the canvas and dive in and develop. I keep developing inside the canvas until I find no way to go any further. I create a rhythm and flow through my brushwork to create a sense of dynamism within the framework of canvas. So this is my attitude when I go to paint. I want everything to be so spontaneous on the spot so that I participate full-fledged, fully, all my emotions and skill and technique has to coincide together at the same time and same space. Normally I use greenish. I used here very greenish gray color with a little touch of brown to give a dull effect, not to be too cheerful, very dull, so that it goes with the subject. That's what my color palette is like. And if you see my painting, it's all dominated by a flow, a ridge created by the brushwork. I call it a linear quality in painting, but without using lines. So you can find throughout my painting, you can find the linear quality, which is the brushworks go from one end to when it ends, the brushwork ends in start from one end to other end. Before it finishes, carry another brushwork, and sometimes against the brushwork. This is how create a dynamism, and I want to create something, keep the tension within the canvas. And always my strokes, my treatment is try to fly away from the canvas. Something is trying to burst the boundary. That's what I like to do. All this painting, I never intended to put in a gallery or frame it or anything like that. But it is just a process, like scribbling on a sketchbook, something like that. But instead of scratch with a pen, I used the canvas. And The reason is that if I carry it was just a practice, like a just warming up kind of thing before I start with painting. And that gives me a way. This series gave me a way for another avenue, another direction to carry my career. So I learned a lot about this thing. That's the main purpose of sheltering in canvas and sheltering in a garage, small space, and thinking freely, uninterrupted, and less tension or distraction. And I took full advantage of those things, and all my minds and energy and feeling just squeezed into all these canvases. So I'll introduce to each and every painting and explain you why it is and what it is. Mostly you watch for all this technique and color palette I told you about, and I'll just tell you about the identification of the painting and the name of the painting, why I named it. And some paintings are very interesting, some paintings are just give you an idea to the area to think about it. It's you can expand your idea if you feel like. You are welcome to interpret in your own way. So my first painting is Suffer to Survive. I'll get into the presentation now, presentation mode, PowerPoint presentation, no, slide presentation, and there you can find the little description goes below this thing, and yeah, let me turn it there. Here is the Suffer to Survive. This painting, let's see. Yeah. I think, yeah, this is the one. Suffer to Survive, okay? This painting, I started this painting to engage myself for a long period of time, but finished in 3 weeks. It is depicting people who are struggling to control over a huge serpent. If you see in person, you can see the close look of this painting is a lot of people, they're attacked by a serpent.
Symbolized by a snake, right?
Yeah, symbolized by snake. It's like a pandemic, you can say. The second painting, this is, I call it one side of the scale. You might have remembered, like, you know, the lady with the blindfolds, the lady of justice who hold the scale like that. Like one part of the scale, like one side of the scale, people are piled up and controlled by one hook. The one hook can make them survive. And we don't know the other part, whether this part is heavy or light, we don't know. But we don't know the other part. But this is the one side of the scale. It's up to the viewers how they look at themselves, whether they're heavy or they're light. So this painting is repainted on a prior painting. I just modified it because there was lack of supplies, so whatever I could get, that's how some of the paintings were done like. Next painting. This is cumulus. The couple are floating in the sky, forming a cloud pattern. Everything is like above the ground. It's a dream. And see the swirly pattern of the brush strokes? That's created, that I was mentioning about the linear quality without using lines. And if you get more information, go to my website here and my YouTube channel, Bayman Painter. You can get more information about that. Next painting, Will to Lift. This painting is when a person helplessly tired, but has their hands free, The only option is to climb using her hand to level up, like getting to balance it up. That's the struggle. It's called will to lift. There is a video on this thing also in my YouTube channel. Next painting, blamed. This painting is done based on racial blame game in our society. This person of color, again, in other way you can interpret like this way. Sometimes I wonder why colors are defined by lines. Why colors are defined by a line. So this is one of the kind of recent thing happened based on that painting. Next painting. Left is red. Sound political, but can also be interpreted as leftover is red.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Super Goober Sun.
Okay. This is also randomly, I added some gray color and red and try to find some image out of that. And the form within the canvas, how they're trying to free from the canvas frame. That's what all the time, everything is energy. Energy was content inside. Mind over matter. A figure taking off her material possessions, including cloth, which is once attached to her identity. The cloth, the material possession, was attached to her identity. Taking it off, I want to be free.
So can I just read this artist statement that Prabin talked about a poet scribbling things down? Well, he's also taken to writing a little bit about things he does. And his artist statement is lovely, and I'd like to read it now and before he goes on to the rest. When life pauses due to the pandemic, when sky turns gloomy from Sierra fire, when everything is shrunk down to a dinner plate, when everyone hides their real face behind a mask, when unspeakable truth becomes regular argument, it's really hard time to find a subject to amuse the world. Prabin is diving down to a place where he can shelter, to try and engage his spirit with honest expressions. Every day, a new experience is expressed with different emotion. He does not demand you to be entertained, but find some value worth sharing.
Okay, now this next painting is deconstruct. That's thank you, Jera, for reading this poetry. It helps actually to make people understand what this exhibition is about. It's not just like sharing the happy moment, but it's just, it is what it is. So we are not trying to make something bragging or anything like that, but it's just to have someone to be feel that equally we feel the same way with other people who are suffering. This painting is deconstruct. Deconstruct. So this painting is done without a preconceived thought and simply followed the action of my brushwork. A form off the ground, barely attached to the floor. Off the ground, barely attached to the floor. Here I try to make some kind of organic shape with human-like things. So this is one of my best good painting also. Next, force field. defying gravity. Hence, applying his own strength to keep floating. An islander. This is another attempt to cheer myself off with flowers and beautiful face. It's forcing myself to cheer up. Okay. Next, inversion. I don't know why I sometimes, when I think about to do something different, the human with inverted upside down kind of posture come into my mind. So yeah, just randomly I started doing something, and this is about a person which upside down hanging, yeah, this painting is a very small, by the way. It's a 16 by 20. Crashing surf. Started with few patches of brushwork, brushstrokes, and then developed into a dynamic force. This is a person as if it was when he crashed with a surf, the wave, huge wave, pushing him to the shore. This is about the crashing surf. Oh, this is my latest painting. A sunny day for an amphibian. I'm going to make a video out of this thing, but this is a kind of beautiful, I can narrate in that way. Again, you can, anytime you can relate to the shelter, the present situation, that's what it is, exactly the present situation. The story of a creature who spent 8 months in water with little oxygen, greenish monochrome everywhere, free floating, never got a chance to touch the ocean floor. Imagine an amphibian like in the water.
Is this a
Never got a chance to, yeah, go ahead, Jara.
Is this an Indian story?
No, it is not in a story. It is just story about now whatever we are feeling with. We were in the water, like everything was monochrome, okay, and never got a chance to touch the floor. Finally, to have a chance to find a new life on the surface, out of the water. Like when you feel out of pandemic, you are peeping out now on the surface. Got a chance to find a new life on the surface, out of the water, with rainbow sky and reason and seasons. Reason, there is reason to live now. We are out of pandemic. Let's find the reason what we are living for. The season, there's a lot of seasons will change. So this is about with reasons and seasons. Fit in. Philosophically influenced by listening to discourse and analysis in YouTube by experts. This image is registering all science and virtual wisdom and redefining its own physical entity, squeezing ourselves into a geometrical pattern, a universal amalgamation of our existence. If you notice, there is a star shaped, which is like people, there's so many area you can find this symbol or whatever it is. It's kind of very strong form. So we're trying to squeeze in that, fit in that category. Somehow there is subconsciously we have some idea that we have to fit in somewhere, somehow, let's go, fit in. We are not free. So knowingly or unknowingly, we are trying to fit in somewhere. So this painting is all about that. Lastly, grip what remains. This is my signature painting of this show.
Oh.
Yeah, the physical essence is our reality. You can find the poetry written on this thing also in my YouTube channel, Bayman Painter, and it's nicely described about what the physical essence we have. That's the real thing that we are carrying through. After all this long period of deteriorations, hold on to what remains. Because every day, as we grow, we are deteriorating one by one, little by little. Finally, we came with whatever left us. So we are holding on to those things and trying to cheering up. This is the painting about the grip, what remains. So these are all my exhibits. Let me stop sharing the screen now. Okay, these are all my exhibits now. So here, this is my show. Everything on one wall, and any questions you have, I am happy to answer.
But and they can find out a lot of information at Beam Main Painter about all these individual paintings as well.
Yeah.
And at by going through number 4 TH Street ST Fine Art, 4th Street Fine Art. That'll also link to your webpage and your Facebook page.
Yeah. You can find me on Facebook as Prabin Badhia. Type my name, Prabin Badhia, and you can find it. Also, I have an Instagram page. You can go details. And Facebook, I regularly update what's going on there. It's not, some people, they don't like Facebook, but it's okay because it's good thing to share. We don't expect too much things about that, but it's, yeah, check it out. We want to connect with you guys.
Yeah, and
So,
come see us at 4th Street Fine Art. There's about 18 other painters that he associates, artists, creators that associate with each other, and I think that you'll find it very entertaining
Prabin, I have a question.
and creative. And come visit us.
Prabin.
yeah, now you can talk. I'm ready to answer any questions you have. Just
I have a
unmute everyone so that you can
question.
talk.
I'm noticing that in most of the paintings that you've done in this group, with the exception of the last couple, are much more defined in terms of characteristics than anything I've ever seen you do over the last 20 or so years. And I'm wondering if this might be the start of a new pattern for you, for your paintings not to be quite so obscure, but to have more facial features like you do in Blamed and the first one and a couple of the other ones, or if that's just a, I've forgotten the word that I'm trying to think of, an anomaly.
Yeah, exactly. I was trying to find this. The shelter helped me to find a new way to find my technique and my how I blend with my technique and my emotion together and find some kind of universal language. How to make this painting like reaching more people. Yeah, you are right, because in the end I started my figures are more defined, more clear.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I like that characteristic.
Yeah.
Where it's a little bit more clear rather than obscure. I like it a lot.
I remember some paintings like this great layer, this what's the what is it called that? Four sphere and minor theaters. They are my old kind of style. But when the street is like the brick water is the latest painting. This is kind of more refined that I evolved the technique.
Thanks.
Yeah, great.
Oh, I also have a suggestion.
Uh-huh.
If you do a presentation like you just did, it would be handy if the next time you put the sizes of the paintings so that people could get the perspective that it's 18 by 24 or whatever.
Okay. So yeah, that way I will because I will define more details about painting. I want to size, but I forgot that. So yeah, next time I can do that.
Okay.
And also, I'll put this thing in PDF format with all the descriptions so that people can have a look of these things. And anybody wants to have a copy of the PDF, just write me the email so that they can get a copy of the email with PDF attached to that, and they can understand what these paintings are about.
Great.
I have a question over here.
Okay. Good.
Hi, Prabin, that was a beautiful exhibition.
Okay.
Thank you to whoever put this all together. And yeah, Tim had a question about the process of the painting. And so for example, you probably don't have I don't know if you have a model that you were working with, or if you had sort of sketches that you've sort of had over the course, that you've incorporated in other paintings, sort of just the image of the body or whatever. And am I asking this right?
Yeah.
But, and then if you start with the outlines of those images and as an idea and build off of that, or do you create the sort of color and then start to pull out the actual images and the figures themselves after the fact, if that makes sense? Basically, he's curious to know what that process looks like, sort of from beginning to end, and these paintings that you have here.
Yeah, it's a good question. It's good that you pointed out those questions I wanted to tell about. Because I do figure drawings, I go regularly practice figure drawings in the live model. But when you do the figures and look at something, then okay, mind is there, your mind is locked into what the accuracy was the important things. You lock into the things that you have to be as accurate as possible of the things that you see. But when the painting, it's a different thing. The painting is totally, you need to participate. Each and every process you go, you have to enjoy it. So accuracy of the object is not important.
I'm so sorry. If somebody could, there's somebody without, who hasn't muted themselves, and there's a feedback coming through. I believe it's the woman with the blue painting behind you. Sorry to call you out, but there's feedback coming through your, I think it's coming through if you're in the same space.
Oh,
sorry. There. Thank you.
Okay, all right. So it's like when you do the painting from a model or some kind of scene or any object, that means your mind is locked to what the accuracy. Like accurately, you want to imitate the things what you see and do the copy from the what you see. But when you do the painting like this, what I did, it demands more of your own participation. So accuracy is not the important thing. How you carry the process and keep the flow, keep the temperament, and keep the energy going. That's the important thing. That's why I don't follow the preconceived idea, preconceived image. I don't draw before. So I start with the painting and evolve the way I go. I keep on adding and try to maintain the flow and rhythm and temperament. Like the technique is important, but the expression is more important than the technique. Technique can be ignored, according to me. Yeah, as long as you maintain the flow and the energy. So that's how all the paintings are done like this way. Same big painting also, I didn't do the drawing. I start from one end and keep on doing, like tangle all the figures together. And yeah, that's how it is. And in the end, I just watch whether everything is together or not. Because sometimes you have to see the organization, how the composition is done also. So I think this makes you clear, right? Okay, good.
Prabin, I wanted to ask you, do you ever get something like painter's block? Like writers get something called writer's block where they just come to a standstill and you don't know where to go with the painting. You kind of have to take a time off, or because you completed them in such a period of time. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
She's just wondering if you ever have experiences of not feeling inspired necessarily or not able to, she was referencing like writer's block, like if you're a writer, sometimes you just don't have anything to write about. And if you experience that, because you made these paintings in such a short amount of time that she was just asking. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, that's an interesting thing because, yes, you know, painting, being a painter is not going to work. When you go to work, then you need some kind of energy, some kind of motivation behind it. But painting is a kind of process, it's part of the artist's everyday life. Whether you feel good, bad, or getting influence or not getting influence, doesn't matter. You have to be in a certain form of your life, so that each and every time you do like bad feeling or good feeling, you start creating. Don't worry about making good painting or bad painting. That's what I normally follow my things. Anytime just stand in front of the canvas and see what brings you to do something. And sometimes you feel bored and you don't have anything to do. Sometimes you're full of energy. So everything is part of the process to be a painter. Is that clear? All right, good. Excellent. Oh, Stel. Hey.
Hey, Prabin.
Hey, hi. Glad you came here. Glad to see you.
Likewise. What a great idea to have a Zoom art show. I love the name of your show, too.
Yeah, good.
Very clever.
Yeah. We just almost like wrapped up with our presentation. And yeah, this is all my show here.
Beautiful.
Yeah, good. Any other questions you have? Jira, you want to talk something? I think we should.
I had a question about how you pick your palette and the colors that you work with, and if it's about. He says there's in this particular exhibit, a very similar sort of theme with the colors that you're using. And so if that was something that was intentional or also something that sort of came with the process as you just started to work, that those specific colors came to mind.
Okay, this series is painted predominantly with gray, green, brown. So these colors are very kind of dull effect, very lightly saturated color. So to keep the mood together, I intentionally used this color. So a different thing, like suppose you want to go to paint the fall atmosphere, then everything become very brown, orange, the fall color, right? But sometimes when you paint here, it doesn't have to be like that. You have to follow the mood, that what kind of mindset you have to for your expression. That's why I chose this palette intentionally, like gray, dull, bluish, occasionally patch of red to give the kind of punch to it. So it's about the process, how you develop yourself technically. Got it? Okay.
So
You can.
I think I'm on. Oh. Can I talk
Yeah.
first?
Go ahead.
Okay. So I
just unmuted myself. We're in the same room, so that's why I wasn't talking before. Oh, is somebody asking something? I'm sorry. I'm not hearing so well.
We just wanted to congratulate Prabin because
I
it
get
showed.
off. You
And
tell
so,
me.
yeah,
It's echoing. It's not.
Valerie.
Say
Yes, I'm, you know, you're a great artist, but that show you're evolving, you're progressing, you know. You're just, I'm blown away. You have so many fields you're exploring. You're growing so much, and it's awesome to see you do it. And I like your variety. I think actually your palette is, to me, it feels more varied than what I've seen often. And quiet, Misha. Sorry, it's live. And also the theme is awesome, but the various treatments, graphic treatments of it, with sometimes very smooth and round, and sometimes you know, like I forgot the name of the piece you have where we box ourselves in, or we try to fit in. That's more angular. I like that too. You just have an explosion of beauty and greatness. So there.
Yes.
Thank you, Valerie. It's a good. Good to see you, and like to share more of the thought and the creative process with you. And
Yes.
very good.
And I really like also the format you took. I think it's you've adopted. I think we need to emulate you and do more of that, because it's a good way to lead people into our world. One thing though, I was wondering if you can next time get a way to zoom on the picture, either, you know, with a different camera, or within, when you show your pictures, you know, from on the screen in your presentation, because that way we could see more details.
Oh yeah, that's what we have to do it later. Like when we have the develop, if we keep on doing like this.
That's right.
I suggest to have some kind of nice camera, and sometimes, you know, I was trying to do like that. Then it was not possible because the time limit and how to make everything work. So
yeah. It's the first time. You're a pioneer.
I have an idea for that. The way it's happened in classes that I've taken is that the instructor makes a presentation on PowerPoint, and then you share your screen during the Zoom meeting, and you scroll through one picture at a time, and then you can tell us about each picture and your process as you go. So it's a...
That's what he did, but it was more a size thing.
And we did that before.
Yeah.
We did that. Let me share again. So see how it is.
The PowerPoint, did you do PowerPoint?
See here, we did that before. See here.
I'm sorry, I must have missed it.
See here.
No, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, we did that. We did that one by one.
Okay, what I'm saying is a picture of just the painting, but you probably don't want to do that because you don't want it to get copied, right?
No, yeah, see here is a description there, and
yeah,
said everything is there one by one. I described everything. So
okay, that's what I missed. That is beautiful, Prabin.
Yeah. So
good.
all the things here.
Right. Oh, okay. I thought the comment was, how can you share your pictures? And you've already
it's all done. That's good.
I misunderstood. It looks very beautiful.
Yeah, it's good suggestion though, but it could have been better actually with a more camera, with and also Zoom is the one option that universally available, but there are other OBS, there are other some kind of broadcast network, something like that available. So that's a more professional way. People who really teach the class, so they have the different camera. So, but Zoom is easy because everybody can have it. So that's why I prefer Zoom. Even if it is not clear, at least we are trying to connect with other people and sending the message. so people can understand what it is about. But again, it's a painting. You cannot just judge through the Zoom. You have to come physically, come here and see the painting. I encourage everyone, if you are watching, come to the gallery and see the painting, smell it and touch it. That's what, and that's what you prefer actually. Painting has to be enjoyed in the surroundings, not in the sitting in a room and using the smartphone or devices. Okay. Anyway, thank you for the suggestions, and next time we'll improve a lot.
Thanks, Prabin. It's nice to see everybody.
It's a very good show, and
Hello from Janice.
Congratulations. That was amazing.
Diego, Zira, come here. Yeah. This is hey.
Hey, team.
3 o'clock today. At 3 o'clock today, 4:30, we are having the physical art opening here. The people will come here physically, maintaining the social distance. And I'm expecting people here, like at least 20, 30 people with this lockdown. So
That's wonderful.
so,
That's good.
yeah. So this
Maybe
is
it
Zoom
can
limited.
happen in the garage.
Yeah. Thank you, Diane.
Bye, sweetie. I love you. I love you all.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Maggie.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Diane?
Yes.
Who are you sitting with?
What?
Is that Dad next to you?
And thank
No,
you.
it's
Thank you.
Janice.
I just put on the screen because I'm eating. I didn't want to be embarrassing.
That's okay. Thank you.
I saw your sleeve.
No, Dad won't be home until tomorrow. He's on respite,
Is he okay?
You're looking good.
which means I'm partying.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
I'm going to binge on Netflix.
Okay. Good.
Bye.
Bye.
You want us all to go? Okay, bye.
Bye.
I was gonna, okay. Bye.
Bye.
Say something.
No.
Uh,
Done.